This podcast is recorded on Gadigal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Hey chicks, I'm Sal.
And I'm Al.
And this is Two Broke Chicks, a show that shares life lessons and tips to help make you rich in life. And welcome back to another scorching hot episode of What's the Tea? This time with our very special guest. All right, hey.
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 Thanks for having me.
How y'all doing?
So early in the morning.
I know.
I was thinking
So
about that this morning.
sorry.
I was like, did we tell Matt that this was at 9?
Yeah. You were thinking 9 p.m. You're like, let's go, girls.
Oh, a girl
Get
can
the AM.
dream, honestly. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm here, nice and early, bright and ready. Let's
Bright-eyed
go.
and bushy-tailed.
You are. And honestly, we're so grateful because you are literally seconds away from jumping back on tour.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
leaving here to go to the airport to fly to Brisbane to kick off the shows this week.
Bring back glamour again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, round 2 of this national tour that I embarked on earlier this year. No plans to obviously do a second tour, but the first lot sold so well that we were like, all right, we better do a few more.
Oh,
And
So
here we are.
good.
I know.
Problems.
I
You
know.
know.
Well, I will say, because there's a couple of tickets left for a few of the shows, right? Most
Yeah.
of them are sold out.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got Brisbane this weekend. There's still some tickets left for the Friday night this Friday in Brisbane. So
Yep.
if any chicks are in Brisbane,
Bris Vegas.
this
our
Friday,
Brizzy chicks are
Yeah.
fucking
and
weird.
Brisbane audiences are crazy
It
good.
was
Like,
so
They're
fun.
so
Yeah.
good.
We did our show there on a Sunday and we were like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe it'll be a bit more chill. No.
yeah.
No.
It was the wildest crowd.
No,
of
I
all.
agree. Like when I walked out on stage for this tour, the first night in Brisbane, I was like, I feel like Taylor Swift. It was like, I was like, oh, they're screaming.
I was like, I'm locked in.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. So I love a Brisbane audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were lucky enough to see your show in Sydney when you did the first round of the tour earlier this year, and it was so fucking funny. I feel like, well, we say that every time you do a show, but every time you just elevate it again and again, and I feel like you definitely could hear us cackling from the crowd.
Oh, for sure. I can
like-
always spot you cackling from the crowd. It is hilarious. And thank you as well for always supporting and coming to my show and showing up for me because it doesn't go unnoticed. And I fucking love you for that, honestly.
our pleasure.
It's
Because there's so
our
many
pleasure.
who don't.
and we're going to list
and
them
the
all
rest
now.
of those people
Name and shame.
No,
Yeah.
but we will make sure to put a link in the show notes for where you can grab tickets because
Yes.
there are a couple of shows.
Thank
that
you.
can
Yeah,
still get
I mean,
tickets to.
there's we're also doing some regionals as well, like Tamworth, Coffs Harbour, Bendigo, Geelong. Like I'm going back home to the Central Coast.
how fun.
So
But
fun.
if you want to come out and have a really camp night, the shows Bring Back Glamour. It's all about how ugly the world is right now, and it's a very political show about the rise of conservative right wing and how we need to bring back glamour because the world's getting too ugly for my liking. And so I teach everyone how to do that.
I love that. That's
Love
such,
it.
and it's such a beautiful premise of the show. It's such a beautiful thing, and then you're just funny as fuck, and
It's like it's a very earnest
in the
premise,
best
but
way.
then the actual show is fucking diabolical.
Yeah.
So it's the best of both
crazy,
worlds.
isn't
Yeah,
it? Like-
it's
It's
the
so
best.
good.
It's so
It's
good.
so funny. But now we've got that out of the way, very important up top first. Should we get into our tea?
Yeah, Sal, kick us off. What's the tea?
Okay. The tea is, have you seen that for the last 5 or 6 days, Zara Larsson has been doing the Midnight Sun dance until she sells out her Bangkok show?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked into what's actually happening with the Bangkok show. I'm assuming it's not selling very well.
Yeah, so essentially that is what's happened because I think that her Sydney show sold out straight away. I think quite a few of her shows for this tour have sold out
I think
very, very
all
quickly.
of them have.
Yeah.
I think she's had a run of
Really good sold out shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then for some reason the Bangkok show isn't selling very well. So she's been jumping on TikTok just unabashedly being doing this dance until the tickets sell. And I think a lot of people have kind of been clapping back in the comments being well, they're not selling well because it's too expensive.
How much are the tickets?
So I had a look and the standard tickets range from approximately 119 to 166 Australian dollars.
Okay.
Which, if you think about it, $120 being
How
the
much
starting.
was Gaga? I mean, I know
300.
we're talking
350.
maybe different
Yeah.
levels, but yeah.
But I'm I don't know what Gaga's starting price would have been. Whereas $120 for the starting ticket is pretty expensive. However, I do think that if you compare that across
Yeah.
shows touring at the moment, that is kind of on par.
And the thing is, and I'm sure you're going to get into this, from what I've seen, never been to a Zara concert, but from what I've seen online, it's a production. Like, she has heaps of dancers and like heaps of lights and costume changes and all of that. And surely that comes into costing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was kind of what she was saying. So people were clapping back in the comments, and I love her because she is just chronically online.
Yeah.
Like, so she's always like, if anybody is ever referencing her and it goes viral, she's always in the comments like, hey. And she actually like talks back to or speaks to her audience.
And her fans.
Yeah, and her fans. And somebody, did point out like, well, girl, it's because we can't afford it. The tickets are too expensive. And her response to one of these comments was, I agree. I don't want my tickets to be too pricey, and I will definitely see what I can do about that. But right now in my career, I'm definitely not making big bucks on touring. It's basically a non-profit at this point. Everything that I make goes into paying people, transportation, production, etc. Which I was like, I think that is the thing that a lot of people don't realize, because for some artists, touring and merchandise are definitely big money makers for them. Because I think a lot of us do know that streaming, especially for music, like streaming music, you don't actually get that much money from that. So, but I've heard you speak about this, Matt, and like, what do you think when you hear people, critiquing whether it's like a Zara Larsson or a Harry Styles or whoever it is on like the cost of concert tickets at the moment?
Well, I always say that if I wanted to be rich, I would not do comedy shows. There is no money in touring, and I haven't heard her say that whole, like, it's basically a non-for-profit right now, and I'm like, that is me right now. And it's one of those funny things because it's almost like the bigger you go and the more shows you do, the less money you make. Like, my last tour, Dancing Queen, was really successful. We did like 15 shows around the country and they all sold out. And I made good money. Like, it wasn't great. If I wanted to make money, I wouldn't do the shows at all. I'd just do sponsored videos or things like that. But then with this tour, we're going to do 37 shows all up. So we've almost tripled the amount of shows, and I'm probably going to make less money than the time before. And then things like merch, I look at doing merch and things like that. And the process, one, is so time consuming, especially for me. Like Zara Larsson, she would have like a bit bigger team behind her, doing all the logistics of this. But like for me, there's just a small team kind of doing this with me. And the fact was, if I was to lug all the merch all around the country, which so many people wanted, they said, we would have bought a shirt if you had a shirt. And I love hearing that. But it's like, well, when I make my 33 cents off the t-shirt that you've got, it's like not worth my time to pay the shipping fees to and from venues, or even just adding on another suitcase and like taking it in a suitcase on the plane maybe. I don't know, God forbid that goes missing. Like there's a lot to worry about. And so costs really do add up, but you just can't look at it like that. Like, and I'm sure Zara probably sees this as well, the same as I do, is that my shows are a way for my audience to connect with me on a deeper level, on a different level. And it's about making that connection with my audience, giving them something that they don't get online. And, it's all good and well to like listen to Zara's music all the time, but seeing a person in concert is like, it's worth every dollar in my opinion. Like look at when I did the Kylie Minogue tour around the country, I was spending $750 per ticket on some of them to be front row, obviously, and get like the VIP package. And everyone's heard that story a million billion times, but I went to every show in the country of Kylie Minogue because I'm such a big fan, and I'd saved up for years to go and I really wanted a meet and greet, but she didn't do them because it was just after the pandemic, and so people aren't really doing meet and greets at all these days.
I feel like they don't really do them.
They were huge pre-pandemic.
I was hoping for a Benson Boone meet and greet, but oh God, he probably heard I wanted one and said cancel that.
It was in the works, and he was like security.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of him in the Spider-Man mask?
Of course I have. Too many times. My
boyfriend was like, and from every angle. This video so long? And I was like, shut up. I was like, I love Spider-Man. And he's like, oh, Tom Holland. I was like,
that's the one.
Yes, definitely not Benson Boone. Have you seen this?
No.
Fuck me.
Oh, I love when Benson gets his abs out. It's a good day when he gets his abs out.
He does a flip and like lands in the Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, because he's a real flippity dippity. So he could do that.
He can flippity dippity right in.
Well, his tickets are probably expensive just for the insurance on him doing all those tricks. Well, I think imagine Pink flying around the air.
Oh
The,
my God,
the
how
public
does that
liability
sound?
insurance would be through the roof.
Yeah, that's like, Pink, get down.
Yeah, because I have to pay
down.
insurance for my shows, and it
Yeah.
works
Same.
out to be a couple dollars like per ticket, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and then you have to like also get a public liability insurance license sort of thing. I don't know how it works. I just pay what I need to pay, and that's
Yeah.
it. But it's funny where you select like what kind of things you do.
Yeah.
And I noticed, because obviously I've been getting it for about 5 years now. I noticed last time I signed up, they've added a new one. They said, please look at our new categories of things that you're doing on stage, and they've added bubble blowing.
Shut
So
up.
someone's been sued
Popped
for
in the
blowing
eye.
bubbles.
Choked
Popped
on
in the eye, or
bubbles.
maybe slipped on a bit of detergent on the floor. I don't know.
yeah,
But bubble
shit.
blowing has been added because for anyone who doesn't know, you tick what you do on stage, and then they tell you the price of what your insurance
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, because it'll be
Obviously,
like confetti,
yeah.
pyrotechnics, like
if
whatever.
you're sword
Yeah.
swallowing on stage, obviously your insurance is probably higher than
Yeah.
mine when I just stand there with a microphone. So, but yeah, there's all those little costs, and I think I've always been that person that's like, anyone can charge anything for anything they put out into the world. If
Yeah.
Zara Larsson thinks she's worth $700 a ticket, has every right to do that. And if people want to pay it or not want to pay it, then that's up to them. But yeah, I don't call me an out of touch influencer, but like I just think like $120 Australian is not that expensive for a concert.
I agree with you. I think it's everyone's own prerogative of what they want to spend. And I've seen the videos of her concerts, and it's a whole shebang. Like,
Yeah, and her live talent is incredible.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I'm like, I can understand though that some people do think that
Yeah.
do think that's out of their
that's
price
fine.
range.
Which
and I
is
think
totally fair.
we are seeing that. Like, there's this thing called blue dot fever, and it refers to the amount of concerts that have had to be cancelled because tickets aren't selling. Like, I don't know if you saw, but Megan Trainor cancelled her tour.
Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah, Pussycat Dolls. Also Post Malone.
Oh,
So, like,
shit.
people who are still relatively current as well.
Look at not to be a nerd and bring it back, but like look at, I think in this last year we had 3 Australian musicals cancelled: Waitress, Beetlejuice, and there was another one that I can't remember that its run was shortened.
short.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
it's like there's definitely an issue.
Well, no one's getting any money, love.
Yeah.
No one's got any
Yeah.
money at the moment, and I guess like $120 is groceries for someone. Well, maybe not
Exactly.
even, to be honest.
Yeah,
the amount
legit.
I do, every time I do the groceries, I go, oh my God, I'm eating for one person because Sky, my partner, is a vegetarian, so we cook totally separate meals. We don't really cook
Yeah.
anything together. And
because
every time I do the
everything's made for two
groceries, I'm like,
people.
this is
Yeah.
for one person.
Yeah.
I can't imagine raising a family of 4, you know? So
Seriously.
Yeah,
Every
so you
time
can
Rob's like,
understand.
"Oh, we've run out of cheese," I'm like,
why is cheese so expensive?
Why?
Let's unpack that. I'm back on cheese stringers, by the way.
"Oh fuck, we've got some in the fridge. We've literally got some in the fridge
Yeah.
downstairs."
Just a
They're the
PSA,
best.
Bring
cheese
back the
stringers.
cheese
Bring
Are
them
they,
back.
are they plastic? Maybe.
Yeah.
Do I care?
But and you know they've got new flavors of the cheese stringers now,
Shut
so you can get tasty
up.
cheese stringers. So still the same stringers brand, but
Like
you
the
can
one
get a
with the
tasty.
Do you remember the ad back in the 90s
Yeah,
and he
with
had
his-
the hair
yeah.
flopping around?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved him.
Yeah, he was hot.
Yeah,
Smash.
smash.
Hear me out.
Yeah, hear me out. The cheese stringer guy, he fucks good. He fucks good.
Do you reckon he'd be a quick fuck or would he make love?
No. He'd like be using his stringers. He'd be like into bondage and shit.
Oh,
I
wow,
reckon.
tying you up with his hair, you know?
No?
Anyway,
Is it, am I?
No, I love
am I
it.
dumb?
No, I can
love
see
it.
that.
I
can
love
see
it.
Thank you.
But
Where were
back
we?
to Zara. Yeah,
The one thing I wanted to say on this though is that I think it's really cool to see her like trying. I think there's this
Yeah.
whole thing about like that it's like embarrassing, like not that I feel this way, but that it would be embarrassing to be like, oh, my show hasn't sold out. I'm going to try and sell tickets. And I feel like I've seen, people online be trying to sell tickets and it's, they'll get flack being like, oh, it didn't sell out. I'm like, I actually think it's so commendable to be like, my show hasn't sold, but I want it to, so I'm going to try.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's at least putting herself out there because I think that's some of the things that people then. That's the thing though, you can't win because then there's other people like Megan Trainor, for example, who when she cancelled her tour, she did say that was because of she's like recording an album and she's raising like her young family and she was like, I just don't have the time. And everybody was like, no, girl, it's because the tickets didn't sell. Which I'm like, either way, either of those are fair excuses to cancel a tour, really. But it's like, people will be like, come up with some like more PR friendly excuse as to
Yeah.
why, and they, critiqued that, or somebody like Zara is like putting herself out there and they're like, but I do feel like people are getting around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I loved, Matt, when I think it was this tour, and you were like, it's sold out, and then you're like, oh wait.
I forgot all about that.
For any of the chicks who weren't across it,
So basically what happened is when the tour first went on sale, the very next morning I woke up and you couldn't get a ticket on Ticketek anymore for any of the Brisbane shows. And so I've gone, oh my God, it's sold out. And so I got online and I was like, Brisbane's sold out. Oh my God. And then I got an email later that day, or a couple days later, that was like, hey, sorry, there was an admin error and we only put like 50 of the 200 tickets on sale. So just letting you know now, another 150 tickets have gone on sale. I went, no wonder it's sold out so bloody quickly. And so I had to then do another video being like, okay, I said it was sold out, but that actually worked really well because then they sold out really quickly because everyone
thought they'd missed out.
I went in with like a strategy this year because I don't spend any money on marketing for my shows. It is all me on the podcast or coming on other podcasts like today or just on my social media. That's all the promo that I do. And then because I hate spending money on marketing. I don't want to do it. I want that money in my pocket,
like,
you know?
There's some marketing that I'm like, I wonder how much that works. Like if you see a poster on a poll, how often do you really buy a ticket?
And that's the thing is when we did my first tour, my tour manager was like, oh yeah, we got 1,000 flyers in Adelaide. And I was like, well, how many tickets is that? Who's seeing a flyer in a cafe and actually picking that up and coming to the show? I don't know. Maybe they do.
But I as my consumer habits, I don't
not
really
at all.
do that.
By the time I see
I can't remember anything.
Usually I've already bought tickets to it if I wanted to go.
I even write things down to remember them and then forget I've written them down.
And then you open the notes app and you're like, what does cheese stringer bondage mean?
Yeah.
Bondage daddy.
Yeah.
Book idea.
Yeah.
So, I went in with the strategy of like being really honest and almost lifting the curtain a little bit on how the whole thing works because people just don't really understand and people have found it really, really interesting. And so that's like one way that I've been able to sell tickets is like being like, here's a behind the scenes. Like this is what my backstage looks like. This is how I get to the stage. This is how ticket sales work. Also being really open with my ticket sales and like getting on being like, this is how many tickets have sold. People get invested and almost like root for me and go, oh, there's only 8 tickets left in Adelaide. I'll buy one. I'll come and be one of those 8 people so you can say it's sold out, you know?
Yeah.
So they want to like get on board. And so I really respect what Zara Larsson's doing. And as you said, what is wrong with giving something a go and trying? But I will say it is a humiliation ritual promo show. Being like, please come and see me.
Being like, do you want to come to my party? Please.
No, but I do think it's character building and it does like forge that connection even more, which is the whole point of the tour. So kudos, Zara.
100%.
Kudos to you, Matt. So, Matt, it's your turn.
Okay,
What's the tea?
I'm going on a bit of a Matt's rant of the week, which is, you know how everyone's doing the trend, 5 things that are worth the money. Now, I think you've done it, haven't you? Now, what did you say were on yours?
So my Breville coffee machine, my Dyson Airwrap, pet insurance.
Okay.
Oh, my Kindle.
Yeah.
Those were the 4. Let's go with that.
Okay. So here's the thing, everyone. I am sick of these videos. I'm sick of these 5 things that are worth the money. And it's like organic matcha powder, Dyson Airwrap, sorry to call you out.
Yeah.
You know, it's this vacuum cleaner, that vacuum. Let's be real, all right? We need to actually have a conversation about being smarter with our money. My 5 things that are worth the money. Let's start with health insurance.
Yeah.
That should be a priority above a Dyson Airwrap. Sorry to call you out.
I have pet insurance in mind,
Yeah, pet
so you
insurance is
can't
good.
fucking bark
No,
up my
I'm
tree.
gagged by that actually because I missed that. I missed that. I was going to call you out.
Didn't watch the whole fucking video, did
but
you?
health insurance, let's go. At least ambulance cover. Come on.
Yeah.
I had some gallstones a couple of years ago and I had to get an
I remember
ambulance.
that video.
I'd
Was it at the airport?
Yes, at the airport.
Airport.
And when you get an ambulance, obviously they send you the bill and then like you have to say like I've got insurance so I don't have to pay this. And because it was from the airport, it was so much more. And for those who don't know, quick story, sorry, is I was flying to Melbourne and it was just after the Taylor Swift concerts. And so the airport was packed and I start getting this real weird pain in my stomach and I'm like, oh my God, something's not right. And I'm like, I can't fly. And I'm someone who's like, push through, you know, and it was for a job and I was getting paid a lot of bloody money for it. So I wanted to go on the flight. Like I was like, nothing's stopping me from getting on the flight. I am on the ground, like just wriggling in pain. They've put up the screens around me. They got the defibrillator around. They think I'm having a heart attack. Anyway, they call an ambulance. And the thing is at Sydney Airport is for the ambulance to get to you, because they've got to bring all the equipment in and stuff, like they can't come through security, and that's a security risk. So they just actually come on the tarmac where the planes are taking off.
So camp.
So for the whole time that I was getting medical
This is
attention,
so on brand for you.
they actually had to shut down Sydney Airport for me for about 45 minutes so that the ambulance could drive onto the tarmac and come to the door, and then they put me on the stretcher and took me to hospital, and then I go off on the tarmac. But because of that, because they don't know whether the person's like having a heart attack or whatever, they just have to hold all planes, international and domestic, until further notice.
So these people that are flying around for 45 minutes in the air going, what the fuck?
And everyone's in Taylor Swift merch, and everyone's seen all my videos from Taylor Swift because, you know, they were doing really well on social media. So everyone's recognising me. I'm on the ground. And at that point, I'd never had a gallstone attack. So, which, by the way, it's 1 in 3. So everyone get ready.
Oh my
but
God.
I was like, I honestly was like, I'm dying. But I'd had kidney stones before. These things run in my family. I don't think Dad's got a gallbladder. I think Granddad had his out as well. Anyway, so I've got it removed now, so I'll never have a gallbladder attack again, thank God. But where the frick was I going with this?
Health insurance.
Ambulance cover. Anyway, it was like $3,500 for the ambulance, and then I didn't have to pay that because I had health insurance, which included ambulance cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think as well, I just watch those videos and I'm just like, we need to start being a little bit smarter with our money.
Yeah.
And it's funny that I'm now having this conversation after talking about concert tickets and being like, yeah, $750 on Kylie Minogue. Look, if I could go back, it was an amazing time, but if I could go back, I would love to maybe spend half that money instead and have a little bit more money up my sleeve now. Well, for things like tour, maybe I could have done the merch or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing is in the video, I was like, pet insurance. And I was like, the thing is with some of these, I get it. Like, some people have never, maybe they paid for pet insurance in their entire pet's life and they've never had to call it in. But for me, my pets are 3 and 1 and it saved me over $16,000 that I pay $35 a month. I know it's more expensive for dogs than cats.
Yeah.
So like that's also, you know, something to consider. But I worked it out because there was a comment that was like, just put that money in a savings and you don't like it's too expensive, you put money in a savings. One, if you're not good at saving money, like it's a lot for me, like saving money is a journey and I haven't always been really, really good at it. So I was like, not that I'm really, really good at it now, but I'm just saying that like it would take me 38 years to put $35 into a bank account and to have the amount ready that I needed to have for that thing.
Yeah.
So it's like for me, was absolutely worth it because I remember when they were sick and that like our cat was in like emergency vet hospital on Christmas, and I just remember saying to Rob, I can't imagine being in this car and having to contemplate whether or not we can afford to like save our cat's life and be like then you just have to bring them home and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
And I was like, to me, that is worth $35 a month. Any day of the fucking
for
week.
sure.
I also just think this might be a hot take, but for me, when I look at like if I can afford to have a pet, part of the cost is insurance.
Right.
And if I
Yes.
can't afford the insurance, I can't afford to have a pet.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's what I think. 5 things worth the money. Insurance.
Yeah.
Oh, all of them are
Yeah,
insurance.
all of it.
All
Traveling.
insurance,
I mean, why
yeah.
would you go traveling without travel insurance?
Oh my God,
That's
don't. The
crazy.
stress.
Yeah, 100%.
But even
agree.
some of my friends don't do, like, you know how you have to get all the insurances for your car? They don't do one of the insurances. Not the one that you obviously
you do
need
like
one.
the pink slip, the green
Yeah.
slip. That's the one that you need.
Or just like I don't know. There's one of my friends had an accident long ago, and I was like, yeah, you've got insurance. She's like, nah, I don't. And I was like, why are you driving without insurance to cover yourself? You have to get the compulsory
The
third
one that
party.
you cover
Yeah.
someone else but doesn't cover you.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
I
about?
don't know. Anyway, I just think insurance, and just a hot tip for you, because we spoke about this not long ago on my podcast, but look into your health insurance if you are paying, because mine kept going up each year. And I just thought, well, cost of living, everything's going up, inflation, like it's just, going up as it is. Anyway, this year I was like, this is diabolical. Like, why am I paying like $4,000 a year for health insurance? This cannot be right. I looked into it. Well, they'd automatically added midwife stuff and pregnancy stuff and this, that, and everything. And I was like, hang on, something's gone wrong here. And so they'd added on each year, and I don't know what went wrong, and I don't know whether it was just me or whether these things happen to a lot of people. But I noticed, and so I got on and I changed it. And anyway, I ended up saving $3,500 on my insurance for the year for health insurance.
Yeah.
So it's just a reminder, look into it. look into everything.
Yeah.
What's the cost for the peace of mind that it gives you?
Exactly. Yeah. And because everybody always thinks that'll never happen to me.
Exactly.
Until it does.
Well, that's me. I had a good health track record as well. Like, never had anything wrong with me, basically, touch wood. And then when I got the gallstones, like, that's the first time I feel like, even had to go to hospital. Like, I'd never been in an ambulance before. You know, I've never even broken a bone. So it's like, I always, touch wood. Yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I never thought it would happen to me. And now I'm lying on the floor of an airport with 1,000 Taylor Swift fans around me. And I can't breathe and I can't move and I am about to get airlifted out of here. Thank God I'm at an airport.
Seriously.
Yeah, literally. But also when you're stressed about your health.
I was going to say when you're in pain, when you're like sick and you really just need to focus on getting better, you don't want to be sitting there going, how much is this going to
Can I afford
cost?
it?
Yeah.
And because that's what a lot of people end up doing. And I think that is like also something that a lot of people have done. Like people aren't going to the doctors or the dentist and stuff because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I do also want to acknowledge that like for some people as well, like insurance is like I can't afford that
A
too.
privilege to have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a privilege.
Well, it should be a priority though. It is a privilege, but it should be a priority in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I am a big insurance girly.
Yeah, we love insurance.
We do.
Okay.
Compare your options.
Yeah,
Not financial
definitely.
advice, yada, yada, yada. You get the drift. Okay, Al, what's the tea?
Okay, my tea is that, I'm sure you guys have already seen this online, is that Barbie 2 is facing potential cancellation. Have you seen this?
I have.
Yeah. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially what's happening is Barbie 2 has been pitched. It's been wanting to go, it's like in pre-production kind of stages. It's not locked in. However, the cast of Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling and Greta Gerwig have declined their offers. And this is alleged reportedly because none of this is confirmed, right? Like from the horse's mouth, essentially. And their offers, they've been presented with, and I quote from media outlets, life-changing offers of around six offers.
Oh,
Yeah.
so 6 different rounds of offers.
6 different rounds of offers.
Damn.
However, if they don't reach an agreement within the next 4 months, it's done. It's scrapped. And the rights go back to Mattel. But because Greta basically wrote and built the entire world of the first movie, if the rights of like the Barbie movie go back, they actually can't use her work anymore. And they're going to have to start from complete scratch, which is very interesting. And I very much love this, like, and by love I'm being sarcastic, is this rhetoric of being like, they've been offered life-changing money. It's like, oh, how ungrateful these women are. And Ryan, you know, we put him in there.
One of the girls?
He's just Ken. But like, that is like, oh, you're not taking this money because this could change your life. Just make the movie, just do it your bit. And like, it's very much, I've never, ever, ever seen a rhetoric like that about a male star. But the part that I think is quite interesting on top of this conversation is that Matthew McConaughey has also come out this week, right, saying that the movie that he earns the most money on is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And that's
His
from
best work.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. And from the residuals, right?
Yeah.
And that is reportedly what the disagreement is over, because they don't just want one big payout. They want the years of earnings for what they're working on. So it's very interesting to see how this is all coming together. But what do you guys think?
Well, I'm thinking know your worth. I don't blame them for turning down an offer. I also would be interested, like if I was in Margot Robbie's position, I'd be like, okay, the first one like was worldwide, changed the world, love it. Like it was perfection. Like the movie got such rave reviews, like it was great. And it's like, is it one of those things where it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Like if I'm going to sign on for this second movie, you better be paying me a lot of money because it will be under so much more scrutiny.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it could make or break a career, really.
Yeah.
Because even the first one, everyone was like, nah,
Yeah.
we don't, what's it going to be, Barbie?
Yeah.
She's going to blah, 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 blah. And then everyone was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It's
like
one of the best
amazing.
movies I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my entire life. Every
Yep.
time I cry. You
Yeah.
had the same opinion, didn't you, Sal?
Yeah, and because that's the thing, it's like they're not only thinking about the money that they're going to make, but the legacy
Yes!
of that
Which-
franchise or that film.
Can we prioritize that a little bit more, just across the board?
Well, because I
Like,
do think that it does tarnish it a little bit
Yeah.
if the sequel is a bit of a flop Tina. Like I do, honestly. I definitely can still like enjoy it as its own film, and I'm still going to watch the original even if the sequel isn't as good. But I do think that it kind of takes away from the magic of the first one if the second one or whatever follows isn't as good. Because also sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of as like an audience member. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not putting that same level of effort or magic into it because you know I'm just going to watch it and spend the money anyway.
Just put yourself in Margot Robbie's position, the press tour.
Yeah.
Not only filming the movie, not
Yeah.
going through all the processes. Like that press tour was worldwide and crazy, and all the different outfits every time they did it. Do you know what I mean? Like I think of Cynthia and Ariana in Wicked. Oh my god, I can't believe they made it to the end of that press tour. We saw them every day for 2 years doing a different
Yeah.
interview in a different outfit on a different red carpet, yellow brick road, wherever around the world. Like these celebs, if I was Margot Robbie, I'd go, bloody hell, I don't want to do another Barbie movie. The
Yeah.
last one almost killed me. I'm
it's a
over
lot.
it, you know? So you're going to have to pull out 150 million or I'm not even thinking about it, you know?
Yeah.
And there's also so much behind the scenes that we don't know about. But I have noticed so much more that Margot Robbie is moving into so much of a producer role. Like she is executive producers on so many projects that like, as her good, close and personal friend, it really seems like that's where passions are beginning to lay for her.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think you're right that it's more like, well, is this worth it? Like,
Yeah.
is it, well, one, knowing your worth, and two, can I be bothered? Is this where my passions lie? And that's such a good, regardless of whether or not you're fucking Margot Robbie or like starting your first full-time job,
Yeah.
is like, is this what my passion is? Because it truly, there's so many studies that show if like when you start earning money for something, your like passion for it starts diminishing a little bit. Like you can, like let's say you're writing a book and you're like, I love writing books is my passion, I love it so much. As soon as you start earning money for it, in your brain psychologically you start treating it as work and it starts feeling like work. And so, why are you laughing?
It's probably why I love comedy shows so much because there's no fucking money in it. So I still love doing
So
it.
it's like you can still have passion for these things, but it does go down slightly. And especially with, you know, the role that they play that's so open to critique and public commentary, I can imagine being like, nah, can't be fact.
Yeah, it wouldn't ever just be about that offer for them and
Yeah.
the money and what's on the table there because for the thing as well is like I understand that they're like, oh, it's life-changing money, they're so ungrateful.
She's Margot Robbie.
But
I think she's okay.
I'm like, what would be life-changing money for them really?
Exactly.
Because how much would their life really change by any amount of money at this stage? But the thing is,
not
if
that we're
Barbie-
their accountant, but
No, but
like
just
from external
speculating.
perspective,
just speculating. But also, like, if Barbie 2 is flop Tina, that could ruin all
Everything
of
they
their
worked
careers.
for.
And I think it will be.
Yeah.
If-
Where
what
can
are
they
they
go
gonna-
from
I mean,
there?
the first one was amazing, but like we are also in a whole different world now, and I think less people, as we've spoken about, have money to indulge in luxury like going to the movies.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't spend money on. I'm lucky enough to get invited to the premiere. If I don't go to the premiere, I rarely actually go and see a movie. I think we should bring it back. By the way, I would love to bring it back.
Apparently, it is
I miss
coming
it.
back.
Yeah.
We were talking
But-
about it on the show the other day.
The food's
But
more expensive than the
True.
ticket.
yeah,
True.
it is a very expensive.
But I think out of
Very
like
expensive
everything
thing.
to do in life, it's like who's choosing going to the movies?
Me.
Yeah, there'd be a select few,
Yeah,
but like
I'm
I
in
just
the-
think
yeah.
like if
For most
think of a family
people,
of four, like
It's-
are
oh,
they
exactly.
that's a lot of money for like you know there are cheaper things to entertain the family is what I'm saying. Or,
I think there are also like Greta Gerwig is such a talent and her movies are just so beautiful that I really respect the fact that it's like, well, what's the next story to tell? That's not just this did really, really well. Let's make another one because people are going to come see it. And that's obviously a strategy of, you know, Hollywood and filmmakers at the moment is because they've got this guaranteed pocket of fans.
Yeah.
That it's like, well, they'll come at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rather than
everyone
like a
who saw the
new-
first one is probably going to go see the second one.
Exactly.
And I think that's why I do respect it and that they haven't just
Yeah.
been like, all right, well, I'll take the cash. Because as a consumer, I would much rather go see a fresh Greta or Margot project or Ryan rather than going to see a rehash Barbie 2.
Exactly. 'Cause
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, I'm not a film writer, shock. But like, I don't know. I can't see where that story would go that they didn't answer in the first. You know,
She's
And
not
I
a
think
Barbie
that
anymore. She's a
first-
real girl.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that first one was like so impactful because it was almost like we'd never, like it took us that story to go, oh my God, why have we never thought about that? Or why,
Yeah.
like that revelation was like almost so simple, but we'd never looked into it before.
Oh,
and
I
I'm like,
literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. I'm like, I'm going to rewatch that movie this
Yeah.
weekend.
close your eyes.
And feel.
But, you know, like I'm like what's another lesson? And I just think, as I said, like politically the world is changing so fast and all the rest of it that like I think when Barbie came out, like we were all like, yes. Now you'd have people going like, it's a woke lefty
Oh my
movie.
God,
It's woke lefty movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there'd be like more outrage about how the message is so simple. It's very bring back glamour actually. Get
It
me on board.
is.
I'll take the 150 million for part 2. I'll play Ryan Reynolds. Why not?
You'd be
would
Barbie.
do
I'll be
the
Ken.
best rendition of I'm Just Ken.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
be so good. But it would
Do they
be
have
like
a plus size
camp
Ken? I'll be
version.
plus size Ken.
It would be like,
exactly.
and you'd be like in like sequence.
Yeah.
And oh.
Yeah.
Can we make that happen actually? You know what? We'll take the offer.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
make
be
it
Greta,
work.
you can be Margot, and you can be Ken.
Sold.
Right.
Yeah,
Done.
done.
Warner, coming. Well, apparently it's the biggest offer. And a lot of the information that is hitting media really sounds like the call is coming from inside the house. It's very much like Warner Bros. Is their publicists are working overtime
Yeah.
because everything I'm seeing is very much like, we're really trying, guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're really trying to make this happen for you, the fans.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
But also, like, no one knows about how PR works. Like, this could be totally made up just to gauge interest in Barbie in general.
oh
Like,
my God,
that could be the PR angle. Like, they're just like, let's just put this out and see how many people
Are
beg for
enraged,
it
yeah.
or are enraged or, like, if anyone cares or if this... Because if that story doesn't really take traction...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they'll do it. But if everyone's like, no, we don't need a Barbie 2 movie,
Yes,
then they'll be like, all right,
then
we'll
they'll
sack it
probably...
off.
So maybe that's the whole point of the PR.
Yeah, more importantly, Margot Robbie's apparently going to be starring in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Love.
And that I
Love.
am signed up
That's a
for.
reboot. I'll
The
be
Pirates of the
watching.
Caribbean franchise is one that I'm like, we can just do different stories because you can
Yeah.
do lots with pirates,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
it's true.
I would just love her in that.
Yeah.
Give me that one.
We need just like a whole ship of like female pirates.
Yes.
I want that for the next
Yes.
one.
That's my
That's your
buy
fantasy.
dream.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
hilarious? Is Keira Knightley in primary school when everyone's like, are you gay? I was like, no, I love Keira Knightley. Because I thought she was like obscure enough that it'd be believable. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's not like your typical, because everyone else is like Ashley Tisdale and Hilary Duff and
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, Keira Knightley.
I love
You're
that
like, I've
you
got this
picked
I love her.
who was everyone's like bi awakening as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
really?
Like, yeah,
I love that.
her and she's like one of the ones. It's like the chicken stick it.
Yeah, when
Have
she
you
gets
seen the movie Stick It?
No.
it's good.
The gymnastics one.
Well, we'd have to do a whole other episode on my childhood, babe. We
my
had
God.
we had free to air only, and I think we didn't even have Channel 10. Our TV didn't work.
No, same.
I had
My parents got rid of
There was
Foxtel.
no movies.
'Cause
There was no nothing.
That explains the Kath and Kim of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was on the ABC.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. That's another episode of What's the Tea all wrapped up. And good luck on the tour, Matt. Like we
Thanks,
said, we'll make
Jal.
sure to put a link to where you can buy tickets in the show notes and also a link to High Scrollers, Matt's podcast with Brittany Saunders, which is one of our absolute faves. Friends of the show, friends of the show.
Friends of the show.
And thanks to you chicks for having us in ear holes. We love to be here. Bye.
Bye.